Well, hey there. If you're watching the replay, say hi, give me a like, let me know where you're watching from. If you don't really know me, my name is Dr. Lizette, and my mission in life is to help highly successful professional women who are feeling overwhelmed, overworked, overlooked, overstressed. Stop that. And the way I do that is by working on your mindset, making you into a person who is really more grounded, feels more at peace within yourself, feels more present in life, and isn't missing out on it. And I want to talk today with you about you are more than your career. I often talk about we're four things, right? We're not just a professional, we're not just a partner. Some of us are also parents, but we're also a person. Okay, and oftentimes we get lost in whose we are and forget who we are. And I see this time and time again happening in for women in their careers. Workaholism, that's a real thing. And so really putting in their all, giving it 110%, because that's just who you are, right? Like you're an overachiever, you have high integrity, and you want to make a difference, you want to make an impact, you want to make the most of all the skills and strengths and talents and experiences that you bring to the table. And oftentimes what I see ends up happening is a few things. Either one, you're doing all those things and people end up wanting more from you, or maybe putting more on your plate because they see how good you are. That's one thing. On the other side, you are hustling, pushing, trying, striving, and then you're not seeing the rewards. And this is what I call a effort reward imbalance. And that's where you don't see the fruits of your labor. You don't see all the sacrifices that you've made paying off, because either you feel stagnant, you feel underappreciated, not recognized, undervalued, overlooked. And that's got to stop. That's got to stop. And look, I love my career. I want you to love yours too, but not at the sacrifice of yourself. You hear me? Like, if you have been neglecting yourself, your health, maybe you haven't made time to go to the doctor like you should, right? Like being preventative, not waiting until something hits the fan and like you get a wake up call, your body's like, you know what? You need to chill, slow down, slow your roll, pay attention to me, because I can't take this anymore. We're often very resilient. We push through things. Us women, we have to jump through a lot of hoops to be able to be at a I'm not even going to call it an equal playing field. What should I call it? I don't even know what to call it. I mean, because it's not an equal playing field. We know that. We know we have to work harder. We have to speak up more. We have to face stereotypes, microaggressions that men typically don't. I mean, men never get asked, how do you deal with work-life balance? Why do women get asked that? Why? Because we're expected to be able to do it all. We're expected to succeed at work and succeed at life and take care of everybody else. But what happens to us? And let me tell you, I've been through this. And this is why I'm so passionate about it, because like, I didn't even realize that I was defining my sense of self, my value, my worth based on how successful I was. And the accolades that I would get, and the rewards and the awards and the scholarships and the fellowships and recognitions all over the place. Like, that's nice. But when you take that all away, what's left? I had to figure that out. I had to figure out who I am. And I want you to do the same, because your career, it might be where you want it. It might not be where you want it. You might feel unfulfilled. You might feel overworked. You might feel like you need a change, but you don't know what to do. You might feel, I don't know, some self-doubt going on. You might feel burnt out. And you're craving some happiness, some presence, some peace, some balance, more confidence. You can only find that within yourself. And it's not going to come until you know who you are. Oftentimes when you get asked, tell me about yourself, we often go to our labels. We talk about our job. I'm an engineer. I'm, I'm a lawyer, like whatever your title is. But that's not who you are. That's an extension of who you are. Your career is an expression of who you are, but it does not define you. It does not define you. And whether things are going well for you at work or they're not going well, and you thought you'd be further along than you are right now, or maybe you're at mid-career and you're looking at where you were and where you are now and where you thought you'd be by now, and you're not there, and you're like here and you're like unfulfilled, or you feel stuck, or you feel like you're just coasting, or you've lost your spark, or whatever it may be. That's a problem. And that's not normal. And it doesn't have to stay that way. I want you to do something about it. Because look, you may be strong, but that gets old. That gets tiring. That's exhausting. We can't sustain that. And I'm here to teach you. Oh, I got a piece of chip. I'm here to teach you and tell you that you got to put yourself first. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that includes putting yourself, your needs above your sense of self through your career. How do you do that? Excuse me. How do you do that? There are several ways. I don't have time to go through all of it, but I will tell you the number one thing that you need to figure out is, what are your core values? Because your core values tell you what matters to you most. And if you're feeling unfulfilled, unsatisfied, just like you lost your spark, like life is just passing you by, or your career is not like really doing it for you right now for whatever reason, you got to take a look at your values. You got to get clear on those. Like, identify your top 5. 3 is okay, but I suggest to my clients 5. Because when you're clear on what your values are, you're going to be able to pinpoint what's off. You're not honoring a part of who you are when you look at your values and you're like, you know what? I value self-care. I value family. I value leadership. And if you are not having any of those opportunities, if you value family, but yet your work is taking over and you're not able to be present, and your family keeps asking you, when are you going to stop working? You're like, 1 more minute, let me just send this email. And it turns into 1 minute turns into an hour, and you miss out on life. You like that's not good. And so by getting clear on your values, you're going to be able to identify what matters to you most, and identify, well, why am I not honoring this? Why am I putting my career first? And like I said, like, your career is important. I love my career. I want you to love your career too, but not at the cost of your sanity and your family, if that matters to you. If you have a partner, kids, or whatever, your friends, your loved ones, whoever it may be. Like, there are people out there who want to spend time with you. And in any case, if you don't have anybody in your circle, that because maybe you've been working your butt off and you haven't really nurtured relationships, I want you to have a good relationship with yourself. What does that even look like? Do you even know? Do you even know who you are outside of your career, outside of your work? The place where you spend 8, 10, maybe even 12 hours a day? That's 1/3 of your life. That's where 1/3 of your hours go. The other 1/3, hopefully you get 8 hours of sleep. But oftentimes work is so all-consuming that even when you're not working, you're like working in your head trying to think about work, or you're in the shower and it's like all-consuming. You got to take care of yourself and figure out who you are outside of work. Not let it define you. Do you hear me? I mean, what do you think about that? Like, let me know. Who are you without your career? Do you feel lost? I'm just being real with you because I see this. I saw it with myself. I was like, I had like a little identity crisis. And I see it a lot in the women that I help, where they wonder, like, what am I without my career? Like, without all these accomplishments and all the hard work that I put into getting to where I am today, and I'm still not satisfied. Like, something's off. I'm feeling unfulfilled. I lost the passion. Is not gone. I feel like I don't have a purpose anymore. That's a terrible place to be when you put in all this effort and that's where you end up. You're supposed to be continuously moving forward and like reaching your next level goals if you're, you know, high achieving and really want to see what all you can do, see how far you can go, unleash your potential and feel fulfilled while you're doing it without having to work harder than you should and without sacrificing yourself. Okay. If this is something that you are ready to work on and you're tired of just coasting and putting up with things and like putting yourself last, this is something I'm really good at helping people with, and I'd love to talk to you about how I can help you. But you know, if that's something you want to discuss, reach out to me, send me a message, and then we'll find a time to talk. And what we'll do is I'll ask you a whole bunch of questions to really understand your situation, because everybody's is different. Get to the bottom of what's holding you back, and I'll help you uncover some things that are sabotaging you that you don't even realize. And then if it makes sense, I'll talk to you about how I can help you. But either way, you're going to get massive value, because I'm pretty good at helping you get clarity as to what's going on, what's the problem, and what can you do to fix it. And the rest is up to you if you want to do that. Some people have a really hard time with change, even if it's for the better, because it's scary, it's unknown, and sometimes it's easier to deal with the devil you know than the one you don't, that might possibly come about by change. So it doesn't have to be that way. I can help you with that. So if you want that, just reach out to me. All right, take care.